Thank you so much for joining me this week. And the former Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, made a statement that got my attention. He said, without prayer, there'll be no renewal of the church. Without a renewal of the church, there's very little hope for the world. Challenging thought, isn't it? The church is the hope of the world. We're the salt, we're the light. We're the only ones that can bring change and transform to our world that is in catastrophic decline. And the only way that's going to happen is if there's a genuine move of prayer. So the first revival in any revival is a revival of prayer. And so can I encourage you with this? Never say prayer is not my gift. In fact, there's no gift of prayer in the Bible. You're not going to find it. It's just not there. Many men say, well, prayer is not my thing. It's just a lie from hell. It's a lie from Satan. Because prayer is for all of us. Every Christian is called to pray. It's not something you can relegate to the prayer group or relegate to other Christians. Well, you guys pray for the church and you pray for the world and, hey, I'm just going to sleep and snore or whatever. And then we can't do that. This is a responsibility for all of us. So many men, as I said, say, prayer's not my thing. But I heard one man, I heard his testimony. He said that. He said, that's not my thing. End up in a prayer group. For some reason, he ended up in a prayer group. Today, he would say, I'm addicted to prayer. Just so God can do that for you and for all of us. Currently at Church Unlimited, we're on a 500 challenge to try and fulfill the Jesus gave 500 the challenge to wait in Jerusalem for the coming of the Holy Spirit. Only 120 turned up. So we're going after the 500. So every Thursday night, 6 p.m., and we're making some great progress. So we hope very soon to strike the 500. There was a devastating drought that threatened to destroy a generation outside of Jerusalem. Legend had it that there was one man by the name of Honi, known for his ability to pray for rain. So Honi drew a full circle on the ground, and fell to his knees, raised his hands to heaven as the crowds were watching, and said this, Lord of the universe, I swear before your great name, I will not move from the circle until you have shown mercy on your children. Soon raindrops began to fall to the earth to the audible gasps of the people around him. Honi prayed on. There came a torrential downpour, and the ancient legend of the circle maker was born. I want to inspire us and you and me to keep on praying, because God's still looking for circle makers. Draw a circle around your church. Draw a circle around your family. Pray for them, around your kids, around your finances, your health. Pray until the answer comes. Jesus taught that a major reason that prayer is not answered is because we stop praying before it comes. Luke 11:8, because of his persistence, he will rise and give him as many as he needs. Another thing about prayer is we need to be specific. Yonggi Cho built the largest church in the world. When he got saved, he was healed of tuberculosis, but his bladder was not healed. And he used to pray, God, why? And one day he's in his office. He says in prayer, he drew a circle around his bladder. And for 2 hours, he just said, bladder, be healed. Bladder, be healed. Bladder, be healed. After 2 hours, he was completely healed of his bladder. And he says, we need to be very specific in our praying. Hit the nail on the head. When you're praying for something, don't pray around the world. China and Africa and Japan and whatever, the famine and all that. They can pray that, but if you're going after something, hit the nail on the head. And, there's a quote, prayer is not powerful because of who is praying, but who is listening. And so when we keep praying, crying out to God, we focus on something very specifically. God is hearing our prayers and he will answer. Mark 11:17, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations. Prayer makes everything more powerful and impacting. It makes the singing more powerful, the preaching, the fellowship, everything goes to another level when we become a house of prayer.